2020. This is Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. We'll take your phone calls live, 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here, SNY TV, little NBC Sports, little Madden NFL, little NBA 2K. Got a small gaggle today. It's still a gaggle, though. Anything more than like 2 or 3, that's a gaggle. We'll call it a gaggle. We got a few of the homies joining me today. We got Hey, Willie, you're down in the DFW, man. How's the weather down there? Antonio Williams, the former Phoenix Sun scout, Nike exec.
It's better now. It was decent. Took my daughter out during her break on school, and I'm watching the W today, man. There's single elimination games for the playoffs, so I'm watching those.
So you're gonna be caught up in the wubble, huh?
I am. Okay. I am. Connecticut and Chicago playing right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Wubble, we're gonna call you Wubble Boy. Good stuff, man. Got Kelly Wells Brinkley, not too far away, still in deep in the heart of Texas. Kelly down in H-Town. What it do, baby?
I know I'm chilling. I got my game day winning bronzer on because I just had a phenomenal winning weekend, and I'm here with you guys. So
Winning bronzer. What does it look like to us ugly guys? We don't know anything about
that. Yeah.
You not see my glow.
Okay. Well, I know you back in the day used to have the big hair and all that stuff. Let your soul glow, girl, like they said in Coming to America. Don't leave the Jericho spots on my couch. Is that cool?
We're not. Yeah, we've left that in the, was that the 80s?
Yeah, probably 80s, early 90s, something like that. I used to have the S curl, the high top fade back in the day.
Did you?
Oh yeah. Activated like.
Yo, I bet you had all the jinx. With the wet curl.
We used to do the dark and lovely too. We would perm our boxers, our high tops.
Yeah.
Real high, like a straight comb.
Yep.
Back in the day. You don't know nothing about the 90s. You're still young, Kelly. You're still young.
I'm probably older than you.
No, you're not. I'll be 44 in like 3 weeks, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at you little baby face thing.
She's funny. She's funny.
I'm almost 40.
Yeah, but you look better than I do. So yeah,
I mean, that's true. That's facts.
Oh, anytime
but
Kelly.
Hey, Larry, you know what we had to do back in the day too.
What's that?
If you didn't have it faded, you couldn't wear like cats wear it now, man. You had to have it faded.
Oh yeah, you had to have that faded, like the bald fade back in the day.
Yeah, you had to have that faded. You couldn't
just like faded.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had the high top, I had the ramp, which is like up and out. Then I had the Gumby. Oh yeah, back on we were wilding back in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
Like it. We were wilding. D-Dubs, he still got that baby face. You in Brooklyn? Where you at, man? Karnowski?
Yeah, Canarsie. Yeah, I'm here in Brooklyn. A great weekend. Football's back. I'm excited.
You excited? Good stuff. Yeah. You should be excited, man. Your Seahawks look good. They got my Patriots coming to town next week. I'm sure we'll get into that on Thursday and things of that nature. So it should be a good battle. I'm not going to talk crap because I respect your team.
Oh, go ahead, talk crap. Go ahead. I'm ready for it. I can't wait to Sunday. Sorry, Mark Scott. I can't wait.
Do you want to go back 5 years, the Super Bowl 49? You will always have to live with that. You got to wear that.
I mean, I got to wear it. I mean, but you know what? Who knows? Maybe we can get back there this year. I don't know. Think you guys gonna get there? But we had a good shot to get back there.
You know what? You can have your little regular season game. We'll just show you that 4th Super Bowl trophy like that. That ring. We'll show you. So y'all can have a little regular season games. Little Seahawks. You ain't won nothing. Maybe one.
Hey, I don't mind taking out a pound of flesh this Sunday.
Okay. You guys are favorite to get that pound of flesh too. We'll see though.
We're gonna get it.
We're gonna fight.
We gonna get it.
You're gonna get it? All right.
Yo, definitely.
Speaking of get it, you ready to get it? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Ready to go? Let's do it. Oh, we're talking NBA, we're talking NFL. We'll get into some Cam Newton, some Tom Brady. Black QBs, a record weekend this past weekend, NFL opening weekend for the NFL, National Football League. Steve Cohen, good news here at SNY, buying the Mets. He's got like 14 billion, richest owner in sports. Finally, man, we got some money. We got his own money. Hey, I'm like knocking on the door. Just give me a little raise, just a little bit. We'll get into a Madden Tuesdays starting this week. They've been promoting it a lot of exciting things going on with Madden. We'll talk about that in the virtual world. Derwin James, I was about to say don't do that. Los Angeles Chargers, absolutely. He's doing some stuff with those guys, the Pro Bowl safety there. All right, let's get started. Clips, Nuggets, Game 7. Two best words in sports, right? A Willie, K Dubs, D Dubs. We got all the dubs on today. A Dubs, K Dubs, D Dubs.
Could be winning. W.
There it is.
Well, my father's last name is White, so I could be Larry White, so I could be L Dubs.
But you don't. But you ain't rocking that W. You got the R. I don't know what the hell that's.
What do you think the R stands for? Robin? You think I'm your Robin? You know what the R stands for? Really, dude? Really?
Yeah, I would believe
that.
Boy
Like that? Game 7 tonight. Clippers, dude. They've lost like what 2 straight Game 7s. How about the Nuggets? I think this is the 4th straight series they've gone to a Game 7. Clippers have never been to a conference finals. I kept forgetting about that until like a week ago. I'm like, Dad, they've never gone this far or further than this point than the conference semis here. Who you got tonight? This has to be a must-win game. Look, you got to say it's for both teams. Look, at Game 7, if you're there, you might as well win the damn thing. So I'm not going to let Denver off the hook. But clearly, this is more important for the Clippers. They spent all the money for Doc, who I love dearly as a coach and as a man, as a father. Man, the Clippers, they got to pull this thing off. They can't let another 3-1 lead slip by and let the Nuggets do it for the second time in the series, which would be, I think, a first in the NBA playoffs. Go ahead, A. Willie, you first.
Yeah, so back with the Clippers, one of the things when you look at their roster, and we talk about experience a lot, and if you look at their roster and you look at the players that are people that are integral parts of their team, the only person that really has this type of experience, at least playing on the team that's expected to win it all, is Kawhi. And Paul George doesn't have this type of experience because even when he was in Indiana, people didn't expect him to get through Cleveland, right? So
they got to a conference finals, though.
Yeah, but they didn't. People didn't expect him to win it, right? That's different when you're playing when you're going into a conference final, like Denver is playing with house money tonight, like you said, right? So Indiana was always playing with house money when they played against LeBron. All the pressure was on Cleveland and Miami when LeBron was there. So when you look at that, you look at Lou Will, you look at Patrick Beverly. These guys are experienced guys, but they don't have this type of experience, right? So now you see them getting a little bit tighter. Denver's playing with house money, and I'll say this really quick about Denver as well. A couple of things that are happening. One, again, we talk about this with Toronto. When you play with 2 point guards, when you play with 2 guards that can really facilitate the offense, it really keeps the opposing defense on their heels. So when they put Monte Morris in the game and he's playing with Jamal, now LA can't just stack their defense and wait for Jamal Murray to get the ball and initiate the offense. That's helped Jamal Murray a lot. And the other thing with Denver as well, I'll say this.
Jamal Murray taking it to the rack, dunking on folks. I didn't see that Jamal Murray at Kentucky a couple of times, but he's sneaky. He got
look, so I'll say this, right?
Don't let that Canadian background, that Canadian blood,
they fool you, right?
Yeah.
So look, right? So when we talked about this last time, one of the things I said about Jamal Murray when he was having bad games is I was happy at the fact that he was still aggressive, right? Even though he was 5 for 15, 4 for 15, he was still aggressive, right? So I know a lot of times in sports, we always say there's no such thing as moral victories. But I'll tell you this, when you are aggressive and you're making mistakes, you see your mistakes. That's different than when you're not being aggressive, right? So he saw his mistakes. He also saw the areas where he could capitalize on the way that they're defending them, and he turned that into hay. So you got to give this dude credit again, man. When people say moral victories, this dude was taking those losses and learning.
K-Dubs, you look at the Clippers, blew a 16-point lead, 19-point leads, in games, 5 and 6, had this thing in the bag, 3-1. They let Joker get going. They let Jamal Murray get going. They let Michael Porter Jr. get going and dunking on folks.
Dude is different. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he is. I mean, we didn't get to see it very much at Mizzou. He had to, it was a back injury, if I'm not mistaken, right? They kept him out at Mizzou. Kelly, this is critical for the Clippers, right?
It is super critical because that's where the pressure is. That's where that money is. But I feel like the Nuggets, they smell blood in the water again, and they're just going to go for it.
You got the Nuggets tonight?
I do have the Nuggets tonight.
Really?
I feel like because pressure bust pipes or makes diamonds, and what have we seen? Like, things are very cyclical, and I think that there's blood on the water. They got them on the ropes, and the Nuggets I think they're going to close it out tonight. just being with how efficient they are and then how aggressive they've been playing. As we've seen throughout this whole series of game sevens and game sixes from other teams, like aggression is going to win that game. And it's, yes, there's good play, there's good ball movement, but it's going to come down tonight of who wants it more. Like, where's that heart? Because teams are always going to be equally matched and equally stacked, but who's going to show up? And I feel like the Nuggets have something to prove tonight because they are viewed as the underdog because of Kawhi, because of what is looked at on the Clippers. So I'm going with the Nuggets tonight. I hope that I'm right so I can talk junk on Twitter to all the all the bots.
We love you. We love you like a little sister, a play cousin, whatever you want to say. I just hope you're wrong. D-Dubs, Clippers, it seems like they got a little too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? A little laissez-faire. Oh, we're in control, blah, blah, blah. They're an offensive team. They're soft. You know that's what they're thinking because Paul Millsap talked about it. They think that the Nuggets are soft and the Nuggets are trying to push back a little bit. They got to come out tonight like, all right, enough of this crap. They got to come out with that LeBron sort of Boston Celtics game 6, 2012 look that we all sort of got used to. That's got to happen tonight. I'd be shocked to see. I don't want to say shocked. I'd be surprised to see if the Nuggets won this game. I think the Clippers are going to win this game, right? I'm not crazy, right?
You're not crazy. I mean, I'm a betting man. Tonight, I'm going to put my money on the Clippers. But
are you seriously going to bet, or are you just saying that?
No, I'm not.
Metaphorically,
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're the Nuggets, you're playing with house money. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be pushing it to a game 7. No one expected you to be here. For the Clippers, they're tight because you got all the pieces in place. You got Kawhi Leonard, who's a defending champ. That's why you brought him there. Paul George. You got Doc Rivers as your head coach. This team is built for this moment. You cannot get beat in this round and not make it to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, right now, the whole time you guys are talking, I'm seeing the ghost of Dikembe Mutombo right now because
holding the ball like
holding
this.
the ball out. You know,
yeah.
What do the Nuggets have to lose? It's Denver versus LA.
Yeah, but I was thinking that too. That was 1-8. It's like then you start looking at the numbers. This is 2-3. There's only a couple of games separated them, so it's not like it would be a huge upset. But you're right.
Denver.
Exactly. And
it's Denver.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. That's all.
You're not supposed to beat LA.
That's
you know, and if they're younger,
the scoreboard don't know no favorites.
That's true.
And
the Clippers are finding out the hard way. They should have put these guys away when it was 3-1. You don't let it get to this. Kawhi Leonard tonight needs to be Michael Jordan. Because Jordan never saw a game 7, but not in the finals anyway. But
I was about to say,
take over the game and close this thing out. Kawhi needs to close it out.
And shut down Jamal Murray. Whoever's hot, you need to guard him. I'm tired of hearing about the wings being the best in the league. It's like, all right, well, show up. I need you in playoff P to do your thing.
Don't even wait on George. Kawhi need to close this thing out tonight.
Hey, Willie, real quickly, who you got? K-Dubs, she's got Nuggets. 10-piece nuggets or a 20-piece nugget. She's going big Nuggets win tonight. 20-piece so she can take home their husband and the baby boy there.
That's not enough then.
I don't need Chick-fil-A to cater those nuggets. D-Dubs, he's got Clippers. I'm on Clippers. Who you on? Hey, Willie?
Clippers are going to win the title, so
wow. I'm the Lone Ranger.
You don't
know,
well, you know, what you also see with
you got no Tonto on this show, baby.
Yeah, you know what you see. One of the things you see it now is, and I know they were doing this because they wanted to be healthy for this moment, as Dee was saying, this team was built for this. One of the things you're seeing now is this is the difference between actually trying to win the games in the regular season and load managing. This is why that's such a big part right now, because now their matchup is Denver instead of it being Houston, which would have been a better matchup for them had they not load managed. Maybe they could have won the West. So again, they're built for this, but at the same time, this is one of the reasons why you want to try to and win as many regular season games as you possibly can.
Yeah, but you got it. I like Denver. They're a nice little team, but if you're the Clippers, you have to have that mindset of, they're the little brother. They're soft. We should take care of them about 5 or 6.
But for a minute there, Denver was a 2 seed. Denver's tough, man.
No, exactly. You got to look at the numbers,
right? Like Denver's tough, right?
Yeah, so, but like German said, this is LA. All the money they spent, Ballmer, You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all that good stuff.
I'm always gonna go with the small underdog because
Yeah.
that's what I spent my whole career as, and look how it turned out.
It turned out beautifully for you. You
Go.
know? Got your knight
Yeah.
in shining armor. Got your beautiful baby girl. You winning in life.
And
Clap it up for Kelly Wells Brinkley, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the next playoff series. Lakers are waiting on the winner of this series here. Heat Celtics game one tonight, Eastern Conference Finals. They met once in the bubble. I think it was a 5 or 6 point win for the Heat. I believe it was the third game back last month in August. Celtics, the 3 seed. The Heat, the Heaters, the 5 seed there. Who do you think is favored to win this series? Who do you think will win this series as they play game one now? Celtics, Derwin, can we get a score update, or who's winning right now?
Celtics are up by 10 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second quarter.
I'll just leave it at that.
36-26 right now.
Okay, all right. We'll start with Kelly Wells first. She's a green teamer. She bleeds green. Talk to me, baby. What we got? Who you like in the series?
I love Celtics in the playoffs. I do. I just feel like there is just something that is magical that happens with that team in the playoffs. So I think that Miami plays great ball, but I'm calling C's to win it all. Or win this series.
Win the series? Okay. I do too.
Let's not get ahead of myself.
I've got Celtics in 6. I like them against. I called the beginning of the playoffs. I said Celtics and Clippers, so we'll see how that goes. D-Dubs, your thoughts here? Celtics tonight against the Heat. I think fabulous matchup here. Love Bam Adebayo there. Love Tyler Hero. Love these guys that Johnson on these guys. The other guys. Jimmy Buckets coming off the picks and things of that nature. I think it's a tough matchup for the Celtics because I don't know what they can do with Bam. But it's almost like, well, kind of treat him like Dwight. If he gets his 25 and 10, that's okay. Don't let Tyler and the other guys draw, Gordon and all these other guys hit their threes because that's what I didn't realize this. Willie, the Miami Heat are a really prolific 3-point shooting team. You start diving into the numbers, that can be a problem. But the one thing the Celtics do pretty well is defend the 3 as well. So it should be a strength versus strength tonight. Who you got, D-Dubs, in the series?
I hate to say it, but
come on over to the
I think I like the Celtics team. I think they're a better team, but I'm not going to sell the Heat short. I think the Heat are a scrappy bunch. I think they're going to claw and fight in this thing. I would not shock me if it goes 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
Got to see how the ball bounces, but I said I'm a betting man. If I'm going to bet, I would have to bet on the Celtics, but it's going to be a long series.
But you're not a betting man, though. You always say that, but you never bet.
I do bet.
You bet?
You never see me in
We
Vegas?
could wager. You know what? We should wager other stuff than money on that.
No, we need money because that's we need money.
I don't bet
Keep
money.
your focus.
I don't bet money. I still got to pay for daycare. I don't bet money.
Hey,
Yeah,
I've been there. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Not 4.
Exactly.
But 4 times. So I know exactly what you're going through. Hey, Willie, break it down. Who you got tonight and who you have in the series?
I think the Celtics will win the series. I think with their wings, I think the Celtics will win it because, with Miami, Milwaukee was a tailor-made matchup for them. And the Celtics, they have shooting.
A lot of people did not know that. You were right about that. I kind of saw that when you look in the numbers and you look at some of the analytics. I'm like, oh, that's a tough. I thought Miami Heat would have been the toughest second-round series of anybody. I don't care about the Sixers. I don't care about the Pacers. I don't care about the Raptors. That's the one team I wouldn't want to see in the second round. Now, I didn't think they'd beat the Bucks, but you kind of called it.
But I think the Celtics will win because, again, from those wings, and then I know we're going to talk about them, but if Gordon Hayward comes back healthy and is able to contribute and play at the level that he was playing at before the injury and things of that nature, actually before the suspension and play, because he's having a really good year. So I think the Celtics have too many weapons on the wings. To your point, the thing about Bam, the scoring and the rebounding is one thing, but if he hits you with those games where he has 10 or 12 assists, to your point, Larry, that means that those guys are making shots then. Mm-hmm. So, the points, that's one thing. The assists, you got to hold him down on the assists because once he gets that going, and if those guys if he's got 12 assists, that means that Duncan Robinson and those guys are making shots. So, but I think the Celtics will win this series ultimately.
That's the only. I'm not worried about Jimmy Buckets. I'm not worried about Bam. I almost look at the Miami Heat like I did when I was in Boston when the Celtics were playing the Magic and they had to play, the Magic a couple of times. I'm like, just let Dwight do his thing. It's the 15 threes that kill you. It ain't Dwight 25 and 15. That ain't gonna kill you. You can get past that. So I'll be watching Robinson, Hero, and those guys, Dragic and those guys, and Jimmy Buckets and those guys, and let Bam do it. That's the only thing they have down low is Bam, and let them, let your guys play on one-on-one. It is what it is. You live with that, man. So we'll see how that goes. You just brought up Gordon Hayward. We'll talk about this real quickly. Not playing tonight. Hasn't played since the first round against these Sixers. They said he'd be out about 4 weeks. It's been a little more than it's been about 3, right? Hey Willie. So not quite. We will see him this series though. When do you expect him back? I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4. You won't see him in the first 2 games.
Yeah, especially if they hold on and they win. The more games they win, it becomes more of a luxury for them to kind of slow walk it with bringing him back. So, but if they get in a hole and they're down 1 game and it goes like this game here where they're in control of the game and then they all of a sudden lose it really bad, then I'm looking at that and I'm thinking like, man, you know what? We may need to stop the bleeding here and bring him in because again, that's 16 points a game. That's
you could potentially see him playing in a game too. I think no way he played the first 2 games, right?
Well, I don't know, but because they said he's been going really hard.
He has. He's been in the bubble for about a week, 10 days, something like that.
Yeah, so they said he's been going really hard. So I don't know, but again, even when he comes back, though, I think the thing with what Marcus Smart's been able to do, even when Gordon Hayward comes back, they can still slow walk that a little bit because Marcus Smart's playing so well. And when a guy comes back and to jump back into the playoffs, that's tough. So they slow walk it, have him on the floor as a threat. He's also a great facilitator as well. So he can sort of ease back into it, So again, another option, another guy that they can use to break down defenses, the Heat's defense. And you need that when you're playing the Heat for sure.
Yeah. D-Dubs, your thoughts here on Gordon Hayward? How much of an impact will it be on the Celtics for him not playing tonight? They played with him the last basically 2 full series now. And when do you think he'll be back?
Well, he hasn't played since August the 17th. I don't think there's any reason to rush him back. They've done well without him. See how far they've gotten thus far.
I mean, the 17th. That's right. Yeah, so it's been 4 weeks. It's literally been 4 weeks.
So I mean, right now, as long as they continue to win, they can just hold him back. Because when you bring him back now, you got to ease him back into it, ease him back into minutes. You're not going to just throw him on the court and expect him to play the minutes that he was playing prior.
And let Bam do it.
They have some time. And if the series goes the way you think it's going to go, you might not see him until the finals.
Okay.
Or a closeout game. But either way, just ease him back in. There's no need to rush him. These guys have made it this far without him. So you just take their time with it.
I agree. Kelly, your thoughts? I think first 2 games, you just leave him out. You just hold him out and see where it goes. Now, if you're down 0-2, you bring him back. Tied at 1, maybe you go another game. I think once you get behind in the series past the first 2 games, I think that's when you bring them back. I don't think you bring them back at all the first 2 games in the series. Your thoughts here on the impact of Gordon Hayward, Kelly?
Yeah, I think that they should not rush at all. Ankle sprains are, they're super serious. And then also they've been doing phenomenally without him. And, whenever I read articles or I watch things like, oh, he's going hard in practice. Yes, in practice. There's nothing like game reps, game speed, having to dive, throw your body, and a game time decision. That's why the moniker is called game time decision. So I think that they should not rush. They should push it out as much as they can. If it's an absolute need, then okay, then let's give him, some major minutes. But I think that he should be worked in, given small minutes, small plays, see how it goes, see how his body responds, because we don't know how he's going to respond. And they've been doing great without him. So no need to put him in harm's way and set him back even farther, going forward when they're really going to need him.
We saw some shots of him warming up at a practice before one of the games against the Raptors there. Hurt that ankle, of course, in game 1 against the Sixers in the first round there. So basically missed pretty much the entire series against them, and then definitely the entire series against the Raps in the conference semifinals. We'll see about Gordon Hayward and when he comes back for the green team. Keep it in the NBA. Mike D'Antoni, of course, parted ways, left on his own volition, right? Hey, Willie decided to just leave Houston after being there for, a number of years. Done some great things there. Innovative coach there. Were you surprised to see this coming here? And where do you think he goes? You like Philly? You like Indiana? Or New Orleans?
For me, I kind of saw this coming, especially we all know this when a coach enters into his last year of his contract and there's really no talk of an extension before he gets to that point, the writing's pretty much on the wall. And the other thing too, we need to look at Houston because you look at some of the decisions that they made, not only from a coaching standpoint, but look at their roster. You know, I know that their owner is known, I hate the pocket hustle, but known to have, you know, deep pockets, but at the same time, he doesn't go into the luxury tax. So with that being said, I mean, it's hard for a team to win a title and have title aspirations and you're not in the luxury tax. It's just virtually impossible to do it. So, so I think for me, that's one of the things that I look at, right? So he was, and then when you hear how it went down, where it was not only was there no talk of an extension before the season started, and then Mike D'Antoni's waiting on that call, and doesn't get it. That tells you all you need to know. And you know, you have to go where you want it. And so for me, I see New Orleans would be great for him. If he that'd be great for him.
I agree. I think Philly would be tough. They don't have the shooters. It's not built the way he needs it, you know?
Yeah, and you know, there's that Phoenix tie with David Griffin as well, too. So like that. So I think New Orleans would be a good fit for him. But I'll say this too. You know, one of the things when you watch him that's really interesting to me is how most coaches don't, when they have whatever their philosophy is, they don't have enough cachet for people to actually start shaping the roster to fit what they really want to do.
To tailor,
right?
Tailor to it.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, again, I look at him, great coach, innovative, things of that nature, but I don't know if he did anything where people should be tailoring their roster for him, right? So, you know, so
it's not like he won a title. Hell, he didn't even get to the finals.
That you know, and then in fairness to him,
exciting regular season basketball, you know.
It is, but you know, when you're going against Kobe and Shaq and the Spurs, that's what you got to come out of the West with. It's hard to win the title, at least that way.
Yeah.
Right. So I just don't, you know, again, we see this, it's kind of similar to Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona. And I got it. They beat San Francisco, good win. I like Kyler Murray. But what did Dude do in college? Right?
Top 500.
Yeah, let me get a head coaching job and I'm going to get to pick my quarterback. Like I just, you know, I don't know what guys do to warrant that type of cachet.
Sure. Kelly, your thoughts here with Mike D'Antoni. Surprised that he left, and where do you think he ends up?
I'm definitely not surprised that he left. I know that Houston area has been disappointed with the play of the team. We see a phenomenal team during the regular season. We see a championship team during the regular season, and then during the playoffs, it just kind of fizzles. And it, you know, it's no matter who we bring in because, you know, Westbrook came and we're like, oh my God, we're gonna win the chip. No, obviously that didn't happen. So I knew that a shakeup was coming. I knew that something was going to happen because, you know, there are great things in place, but what are we doing to get over that hump? And we have been on the backside of the hump for a bit. So I don't know where he goes. The like New Orleans would be cool. I think that would be cool for him. But I knew that this was definitely on the horizon because I mean, living here in the city, you hear the rumors, you hear the rumblings, and like, you know, if there is no talk of a extension, you know that something is coming. Like what's happening? Obviously, they're trying to go in a different direction. I think he's a phenomenal coach. He's a wonderful humanitarian. Lots of stuff that he did in the city for
his wife,
Harvey was phenomenal. Just watching, you know, how they immerse themselves in the city. So he will be missed, and I'm excited to see where he does end up. But I know it was coming.
Good perspective there. Blame it on Daniel House. That's what I would do. Like, yeah,
they weren't beating the Lakers. You know that. You know that.
Yeah, maybe
so that's why it's funny to me. When
Daniel,
like, Daniel House cost us. No, he
Daniel's
did not.
Daniel's at that. Anyway. Daniel's at the house too. He's at the house.
Full house too at that.
I hope that shot was worth it.
Oh man. I'm pretty sure it probably was.
Was not.
In the bubble for 2 months with no action. Oh yeah,
Was not. Was not. That's
Says,
going to follow you wherever.
says the lady on the show. I'm going to listen to
That's
her.
gonna follow you wherever you go to know that you are non-compliant.
Oh, Kelly, why you got to put it like that? I mean,
They
come
got
on.
cocoa butter lotion everywhere. Just chill.
Oh.
Derwin, what do we do about Matt D'Antoni? I'm going right over that one. Derwin, Mike D'Antoni, where does he go? I'm not letting Kelly.
I don't know. All right, so D'Antoni, he's coached in Phoenix, New York, Houston. Am I missing somewhere? I don't know. I don't. He doesn't come across to
New York,
me.
King of New York at one time, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I was at News 12 at the time. I used to go to the Knicks practice up in Westchester, and I remember his son was playing high school ball up there. I just don't see him. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see him being a New Orleans guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe.
Didn't he coach the Lakers for a second?
Yeah.
And so it's been like really major top 20 cities he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I just don't see him going to New Orleans. I don't know if he wants to come back east to come up to Philly. Maybe that's a possibility. Who's to say? Maybe he just hangs it up. I mean.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He is getting up there in age. He's getting up there in age.
But if
there's some
people
COVID concerns with him this year. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they'll keep giving him the checks. He's gonna take them. Yeah.
I think
checks to make you come back quick.
Get facts.
Hey, them bands would make D'Antoni dance. Absolutely, I definitely agree with that.
So you just basically think he walked away just because he felt disrespected? I mean, why not give it another go with Houston? Unless he feels I can't win.
He wasn't going to win, but I don't think they were really offering him a deal, right? And the reason why I said New Orleans is from a personnel standpoint,
right?
Exactly. Right. That's why I was saying
young team, promoted, get them to run. They can run, do all the stuff he wants to do. I don't know. I'm looking at the 3-point shooting. I mean, they got JJ, not Drew. I mean,
JJ Crib.
Yeah,
but
that's a big fight, though.
In fairness to him, I'll say this: you know how many guys actually, and again, we talk about moral victories and confidence and things, right? Yep. You know how many guys get to and play in Houston, and how all of a sudden they become 3-point shooters because there's a green light.
Yeah.
Right. You got guys at Sean Marion, right? Roger Bell, Grant Hill, who was known as a mid-range king, right? All of these dudes all of a sudden became very, very confident shooting the three because somebody is telling you
Sean Marion with that ugly shot.
Shoot it.
Yeah. Shoot it. So, let it fly.
So it's funny, man, when people believe in you, all of a sudden what you can do.
Yeah. Good point. What's about Clutch City, right? Is that what they used to call it? The City of Champs down there, Clutch City.
They call it.
Back-to-back titles, 94, 95. We'll see about the Rockets and getting back to the finals. We're done. We're done with the NBA. Let's go and talk some NFL. Tom Brady, we're all waiting on it.
Yeah.
The good feels. Kelly, you might know this being a woman, and we certainly know this. You guys being married, me being used to be married, being divorced now. Grass sometimes ain't greener on the other side. I think Tom's starting to feel that. A little bit.
It's week one.
It's early. I don't want to be.
Week one.
It's week one.
Yeah, but
it's week one. But there is a but behind the but.
Hey, Arians called him out yesterday.
He sure did.
And on Sunday.
Sure
that's on you. And
but I love BA.
I loved it. That's what I'm like. Hey,
yes.
But it's funny because my thing is you ran from New England because he doesn't pat me on the back. He calls me Johnny freaking football and blah blah blah. We all know the stories. Working in Boston, we all heard it, and it's all true. But it's like, dude, Belichick never did that in front of the media. He never did it publicly. He's never criticized anybody publicly. Now you got a coach that never praised you, but now you got one that will publicly embarrass you too. So,
but that's what I love.
Yeah.
So, when my husband played in Arizona, BA was the coach. Bruce was the coach, and so then I got to know him really well because he's super into the Olympics. So, talking with him, I love how he views every player. He doesn't care if you make 50 million or 1 million. You are the same when you're on the field, and I'm going to treat you the same. And that holds a level of accountability for the team. And so we saw that in the media. He's like, sir, I'm gonna need for you, and just to watch.
Pick it up.
Yeah, like, and to watch the frustration on Tom's face, because like I know that he thought the grass was greener on the other side. And it's not even that I'm such a Belichick fan, even though I do think that he is a mastermind. I think that he has a way with players, he has a way with schemes, he has a way of putting together a coaching staff that is unmatched. Think about the coaches that are under him that have gone on to do great things. Unmatched. So it was amazing. I thought that this was going to happen for week 1 for Tom. Just for the things that they were missing, and everybody's like, Gronk's back, and I'm like, not really. Everybody, calm down. He's in a uniform, but when you take off so much
Gronk actually
time,
looked like the 43-year-old out there. I was surprised. I mean, he lost weight, looked spry in training camp.
What you-
Got out
do
of
you
his
know
couple passes
Gronk?
for like 11
Do
yards.
you know what
Yeah,
Gronk does in his
yeah.
off time? Like, so he spent a year whiling, like whiling. I hung with Gronk one time in Vegas. Never, ever again. Never. Like, my
Get over
liver,
those
my
boat
no,
parties, yeah.
no, I'm small. Like, I can't handle that kind of stuff. So, I was just I felt kind of vindicated watching Tom play as he did, because I think Tom's a phenomenal player and he's really handsome. Oof, like, good looking guy. But it felt good to know that, like, everybody has trials and tribulations, everybody has troubles. Just because you go to a new team doesn't mean that you're going to be the Tom Brady that you were, where you were made. Because he has a phenomenal story of being drafted like 400th, and then
199th, absolutely.
yep, and then now he's Tom Brady. But I expected to see exactly what I saw.
Derwin, grass, is it greener on the other side? Belichick treat him like crap in meetings. BA's doing it in public. What's the difference?
Couple of things. One, it's interesting that BA, as you guys call him, he never did that to Jameis.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did last year. Yeah, he did.
I don't remember him really.
No, that's BA.
I remember a couple of times he protected him.
No, some other times he's like, yeah, we gotta be better than that. Oh, absolutely, dude.
But he's well, yeah.
He was balling though.
BA.
He was 5,000
No, he was 30 picks. It's terrible.
No,
he's terrible.
I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
I was like,
that's a different argument.
You remember when he said that at the press conference one time?
Yeah,
He was like, I was balling, right?
Crab legs? What?
Well, I remember the Dubs.
W.
Look, I want to get into Jameis, but look, he did throw for 5,000 yards and 30 plus TDs, but he had 30.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
30 picks. I don't care about nothing else.
Sure.
You giving the ball to the other team 30 times, you got to go.
That's a problem.
You got to go.
Agreed.
You're killing me.
But there's only been like, what, 2 handfuls of quarterbacks that have ever thrown for 5,000 yards?
I don't care about that. He threw 30 picks.
I know. Talk about BA. All right, good point. Good point.
But yeah, I'm not worried about Tom Brady at all. Let's keep it in perspective. It's week 1, no preseason. He's playing it, even though there's no fans in New Orleans, he's playing against a very good Saints defense that's motivated. I mean, they're going to see him again. They got to play twice a year. Yep. I'm not worried about Tom. I'm not worried about BA, telling the truth or whatever it may be. I'm not worried about Tom's feelings. He'll be okay. He's a champion. And he's going to
fragile.
He's going to try to right the ship. He's not going to fall to pieces. He's not going to go cry in the car. He'll be okay. There's still a good football team.
BA poked him pretty good. He needled him pretty good.
That's okay.
He looked good in practice.
That's okay.
I don't know what happened.
He was like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I was like, BA, come
Classic.
on.
Are you going to cry?
Bruce.
Or are you going to go and practice on Wednesday, amp it up, and get ready for your next opponent? And I think that Tom, that's what he's going to do. He's going to be ready.
Nobody wants an angry Tom Brady. Nobody wants an angry Tom.
And then,
LFG Tom Brady, yeah.
You got Evans out there who's with one leg, half a hamstring. We'll see. I think he'll be fine.
Sure. Hey, Willie, your thoughts here on Tom Brady week 1. Any concerns, or it is what it is?
No, I think, again, based on who he is and how he prepares and things of that nature, I think he'll be fine. But one of the things that I wanted to address, and D kind of teed it up for me, is when he talked about Mike Evans. And and Tom Brady, again, he's great. I don't want to take anything away from him, but I will say this. He's the one guy that that's playing that position, when his team loses or when he doesn't play well, it's all of a sudden conversation about everybody else. Well, it's a conversation about the offensive line. They didn't run the ball well. Well, he didn't have receivers. He's the guy that when he doesn't play well, it's always conversation about everybody else. Right now, I don't think he looks at it like that. I'm just saying how sometimes the way people portray it and they talk about it. And so I think, one of the things I like about Tom Brady, and people say this in sports a lot, I disagree with this when people say that the best ability is dependability. The best ability is accountability.
Oh, it's availability.
You need to be available. If I can't count on you, you got to go.
No,
well, I think they're sort of linked. But I do think
no.
They're linked.
That's what I just said. You have to be accountable for somebody to be able to depend on you, right? So,
but you can't. I can't depend on you if you're not there either.
Hold on. That's
what I'm saying. They're kind of linked. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but being accountable, right? So this coach said this about him, right? So Tom has accountability. So he's, hey, you know what? I again, the way that I said that it's portrayed, that's not the way that he looks at it. But that's the narrative that the nation sort of runs with when we start talking about Tom Brady. We start looking at all the other people and well, it wasn't a preseason. Well, it wasn't this. Well, it wasn't that. And he is all about accountability. And that's what BA, as Kelly said, as you call him, LL, and what you called him too, D. He's all about that accountability. I think that's the best ability. It really is.
Good point. Brady, a couple of picks. 3 straight games. He's throwing a pick six. Week 17 against the Dolphins to end the season. Made them play in that wild card round instead of getting the first round bye. And the wild card round against the Titans, threw it against his former teammate Logan Ryan. Pick 6, which basically iced the game. Lost by a touchdown. And then Sunday against the Saints down there in NOLA. We'll talk about the quarterback that replaced Tom Brady, Cameron Newton. 15 carries, 75 yards, $155 in the air. Not great, but 15 of 19, couple of drops, and 2 batted balls. So you think about it, he was damn near perfect. Had a quarterback rating around 85?
80.
Yeah, 80, 85. Not bad. Don't know if we can continue running him 15 times.
Not this weekend.
No, you don't want to do that. Well, how do you, will this be one of those vintage Cam years where we're looking at, offensive, not offensive rookie of the year, but comeback player of the year or something like that. I don't know if he'll win the MVP because he just won't put up the numbers like Pat Mahomes and those guys. Well, we'll see. Look, they got a good defense. That secondary can ball. Now I don't know if they can.
They were playing Miami. Come on.
Dude, it's still the same secondary they had last year. Yeah. It gives up like 170 yards a game. That's real good in the NFL.
As I said, it's week 1. You got to keep things in perspective. They were playing Miami.
I know, Derwin, but if you have to pick one secondary in the NFL right now, who would you take? It's easy from New England.
New England has a good, Gilmore, they got a good secondary. It's decent.
Gilmore, McCourty, J.C. Jackson, Byron, Jones. I got some really good
guys. But it's not like you can't
critic.
But it's not like you can't move the ball on them. I want to see when they get some real adversity. When they're down, because we saw the same thing last year with them. When they get behind, we're gonna see what Cam Newton's gonna do. He ain't gonna be able to run for 75 yards and keep running. If you trailing, you got to put that ball in the air.
Question
19 times ain't going to cut it.
Good point. Fair. That's what I was going to ask you. Can he keep this up? And the answer is clearly no. But the question also is, do they have anything else they can go to? Because right now they have no weapons on the outside. It's going to be tough. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think Cam is more suited to lead this offense than Tom Brady. Now, OBJ, Allen Robinson, somebody like that, unhappy? He's got $30+ million in cap space right now.
Well,
OBJ, Allen Robinson.
Yeah, and I think I just saw something today where Robinson talking about he wants to leave. That's wide receiver for Chicago.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
And somebody brought the pay kids up.
He loves Belichick. And who did he work out with this summer? And who did he do the YouTube video with this summer?
But LBJ is not even doing anything in Cleveland.
Yeah, but
he's always hurt.
Yeah, but I know, but it's like the Randy Moss thing. Don't fall for that. You're too much of a pro to fall for that. You get in the right situation, the right frame of mind, dude, right community, right environment. Oh, we'll see the old OBJ from 2016 and 17.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that Odell, who another one of my good friends, and I love his
Look
mama
at you,
with
flex,
all my
both
heart.
arms,
That's
both
not
Yeah,
even
go
arms,
a
ahead.
flex.
both
That's
Yeah.
arms, both
Yep.
arms.
You
Come
gotta
on.
do it.
Are we
Yep.
okay now? Are we moving on? I think that New England would actually be good for him, because he's like a, he's like one of them. He's a kid, like he needs parameters, like he needs hard ones. When you let, what is it? When the cat's away, the mice will play,
All right.
and not to call my friend a mouse.
Sure,
If you're
sure.
watching, sorry,
Yeah. I don't think
but
so. Probably in a
he
meeting right
needs,
now. It's a
yeah,
Tuesday.
probably.
Hey, it's a Tuesday. That's
It
their
is.
off day. They could
Oh
be
yeah,
watching.
they should be practicing. But anyway, he needs structure. So I think he'll be good. But I don't. I mean, I don't know. He needs. Cam looked so happy to me, and that is one thing that we have not seen in a very long time from Cam Newton is the smile, the happiness,
How
the
about
elation.
Belichick giving him
I
roses?
look. He was
I
like when
the
when
Belichick's doing commercials and giving his players roses. Tom
It's coach
Brady's
speak. It's psychology.
man.
That's what
I'd
good ones do.
love. I'd love to know the truth about that, which we all know it is. Which is we've been together for 20 years. I'm tired of you.
I'm
I want a
tired
new
of you.
boo.
I
I want
haven't
a new
liked
boo.
you. Yes, like
That's it.
I haven't liked you for the last 10. Let's move on. Like, like they had to move on. So I think that it's gonna be great to see Cam in New England moving forward. He definitely needs some weapons. But it's nice to have him as the option as well. Because I think Belichick really needed and wanted a dynamic quarterback, and he didn't have that with Tom. Tom was phenomenal at what he did. But I think that when watching the game, watching the timing between Cam and Cam will hold the ball for 5 or 6 seconds. The O line is not, they weren't equipped for that. They're not ready for that. So, in preseason, you have time to get those kinks out, see how it goes, see how
Yeah,
it
yeah.
flows.
Didn't have a
And
preseason.
so there was no preseason. So I think that it's only going to get better and better. I'm a Cam fan. That's the homie. So I'm a Cam fan and I want to see him do well. The yellow suit will circle back later.
Canary.
But I, mm-mm. But I was my one thing for athletes, because I was one for so long, is you have to be happy in your situation. You have to feel appreciated in your situation. And to watch him be on the field and see that genuine smile on his
Mhm.
face, see him doing the things that he loves, see him having, a coach, a staff that appreciates him for the weapons that he does bring, because he is a phenomenal player. I don't care what
Absolutely.
people say.
Mhm.
He is a phenomenal player. I have him on my fantasy team, and he did great.
Yeah.
So,
What do you give you like 26 points, something like that? 25, 26,
yes,
27,
and it
something
was
like that?
awesome. No, it was like 27 points
I was about to
actually.
say for a guy that really didn't do a whole lot, but he controlled the game. He did. And you think
Yes.
about it, probably should have had another 10 points because
Yeah.
N'Keal Harry threw a
Yeah.
touchdown to him, fumbled at the one through the end zone, and also the kicker missed like an easy 40-yard field goal. So they should have had at least 31 points. They pretty much controlled, especially the second half. They scored pretty much every time they had the ball.
Yeah.
So,
So for
or
them
they
to say like
drove it all the
it's
way up and
just
down the field. Yeah.
Miami, yes, but I mean, yes, but we
Well, but
also know that
also a team
Miami
in
Miami
Miami that's
comes to
got
play
intimate,
tough.
and they got intimate knowledge of you because half the damn team and half the coaching staff came
That
from you. So
is came
I'll
from
tell you
New,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and we all know that Miami plays New England tough every year. It looks like the Super Bowl every time they play. So I was over the moon excited for Cam. I don't
Mhm.
think that he's going to be able to run the ball a million times because your body just can't hold up. It's just not going to happen. And these dudes are going to come to knock heads because they know it's Cam, and everybody wants to be on the highlight reel. And
Sure.
so, they're going to have to make some adjustments. But no, I was,
Yeah.
oh,
Hey,
felt so
Willie,
great.
is this sustainable? Cam Newton running the ball 15 times, and how do you think about this new look New England Patriot offense? And is there a wrinkle out there that you're excited to see? I am because I think they're going to have to throw the ball. I mean, Seattle's not going to let you just line up and run the ball,
Mm-mm.
42 times for. I think New England had the largest. They were the number one rushing team last week, 217 yards.
Yeah,
He was their best tailback.
that was ground and pound. Yeah. So before I talk about Cam, let me say shout out Renee. I just saw her on the screen here at the halftime of the Chicago and
He
Connecticut.
taped that earlier today, so shout out to
Yeah,
Casey Beauty. Did her
so
makeup earlier today.
there we go. Yeah.
Serena
Oh
Grace,
yeah.
Snook and Diddy. They were asking about it today as well.
Hey.
Get it out
Oh
there.
yeah.
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 I had intimate knowledge
Let,
of that.
let me get my giggles
Obviously.
out before I start talking about Cam.
Obviously.
Okay. All right. All right.
That's
I got
silly.
to do it for me and OG. All right. So no, but it was good to see with Cam. One of the things I was concerned about is and whether he runs the ball 15 times, whether he runs the ball 7 times or 6 times. I don't want him taking hits like he did on that touchdown. And you know, the one that was questionable whether he got in or not. Those are the hits that I would rather not see him take, and those are the ones that
Because
every
he got
time
down
takes
early
those-
in the first quarter when he scored the first touchdown.
Yeah,
He got down a couple
yeah.
of times, so I like that.
Yeah, and that second one, I started to cringe a little bit because those are the things that I don't want, regardless of how big he is, regardless of how strong he is. I don't think New England wants him taking those hits because, again, you know, it's one thing to take those hits when it's warm, and you know this, LL, from your football career. It's another thing taking those hits in December, right? When,
Everything hurts in December.
Yeah, that's another thing. So, you know, so I just don't want him taking those types of hits. Sure, he's going to have to throw the ball more, but also too, I did like the timing that he had with Julian Edelman. It seems like they were on the same page, and it seems like that combination is going to be really good. I'm interested to see as well with Cam what happens at the tight end position with New England. So, you know, so again, encourage. I want to see him run the ball less, but I certainly want to see them continue to win. And I'll say this, for the boss marketer, Siobhan Williams, she is a Patriots fan.
Oh,
shout out to the boss lady.
Yeah, right. So we were in Boston for over a decade.
Okay.
I wasn't a Patriots fan, but with number 1 back there quarterbacking,
it looks different.
riding with Cam now. Yeah,
it does.
Man.
And speaking of number 1, there's a 1 and then add a 0 next to it. 10 black quarterbacks opening week last week. You know, from Deshaun to Pat Mahomes to Cam to Tyrod to Haskins. You name it. All of those guys performed very well. You know, we saw some Lamar out of there. I'm missing
7 and 3.
4 or 5. Yeah. Hey, we'll take it. Teddy Bridgewater. All of those guys out there. But 10, that's a record. As African Americans on here, how proud were you guys to sort of see that fact? When I saw that fact, I'm like, I got to mention this on the show. And it was record breaking. It was historic. So definitely newsworthy, at least for a small discussion here. We'll start with you, Kelly.
I really wanted Derwin to go first because I could see
Go ahead,
his face.
Derwin. Go ahead.
Derwin, go ahead, Derwin.
Honestly, you know, I love the NFL. I hadn't even given this a thought until, you know.
I knew it.
Russell, your boy?
Well, until you said that was going to be on the show, I didn't realize there were 10 of them. And I'm like
10.
going through every game.
I know.
I said, they're 10 out of 30. Wow.
I threw out Haskins. I threw out Tyrod Taylor. You reminded me of Teddy B. I was like, damn, it is.
Yeah, it's 10. And I was kind of surprised. I mean, it's a nice look. I mean, they're all not created equal.
What are you doing?
Some of them are good. Some of them are not so good. But it's nice.
Kelly's like, I just love that melanin. Show that picture again. Is that what you're
That's what I'm saying.
You like that melanin, Kelly?
Let my kings shine.
It's nice. It's nice. I just, it's like, if you're going to be
Kyler
there, I like for them all to be good. But, you know, it's cool.
Kyler Murray and Dak
who's
Prescott,
not
those are the
good?
2 we didn't mention. So that's 10.
I mean, if you really want to go in the weeds.
Oh, do you have paper? Do I have paper?
I take. Yeah. I mean, just going back from this weekend, who we had out of all 10 of them, there was like 3 L's, 3 teams
7 and 3, yeah.
And
Watson and
Mahomes played each other.
Yeah.
I think
that's a cancel out. That doesn't count.
Tyrod stole one. Well, he didn't steal one, but the Bengals gave him one.
Yep.
But
Teddy B,
how you get it.
Teddy B should have probably won if they had given the ball to Christian McCaffrey on 4th and 1. They probably win that game.
But all in all, it's a really good look.
And then Dak lost by a field goal, which
you always hear that. You always hear that we're not represented at that position. That's the quarterback position is a leadership position. So the fact that we have 10 black quarterbacks, I think is a beautiful thing. It's a really good thing. I would love for all of them to do well and for all of them to master their craft. I think for me, my only criticism of that position, when it's us, I find that it's too often we're more runners than passers.
Sure.
And that's not going to last.
Sure.
And,
well, I mean, but Mahomes, Russell is very smart. He gets down,
yeah, but those two guys those two guys right there. I'm not worried about those two.
Well, Deshaun, I think Deshaun does a pretty good job of getting down and running only.
Yeah, and Deshaun is a tweener too.
Yeah,
he's
he can throw the ball.
He can throw the ball. He can run. He's for me a little inconsistent. But
I mean, even Dak doesn't run a whole lot.
He doesn't. But Dak, when Dak decides to go, which is not too often, it's normally for good reason. Yeah. But
he'll go.
But even
and we know Teddy B. Teddy B can't.
But even with Dak, he plays for America's team.
Right.
I don't want to pay him $35 to $40 million. I don't think he's that good.
But in today's NFL, you gotta
pay him. You gotta pay him.
And not only that, in this game, in today's NFL, you need mobility. And that's what it is. Like
I don't.
How many true pocket passes are there?
I don't believe that.
How many?
Take out
Brady. Take out Breeze. Take
Aaron
out
Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is he's got mobility.
We're naming all the.
But Aaron Rodgers will get down on you. Aaron Rodgers will get down on you. Aaron Rodgers, like he's deceptively fast.
No, he can move around. But even the new guys that have come in, Josh Allen, some of these new guys, Mitchell Trubisky, they're white and they can move.
Yeah. Especially Josh Allen. I think he has.
So that's what I'm saying. It's today's game now, which you're going to have some mobility. But why? Because these defensive linemen are like 270 and they all run 4.4s now.
But I'm still a believer in you could still have a Peyton Manning that is a statue and that doesn't move. But if he has.
There's really like, how many are left? That matter. There's literally like.
I feel like the game is changed. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, yes, the game has changed to more mobility, but I still like to have that balance. I don't want a guy that's running all the time. I don't want that guy.
Well, it's not that they're running all the time. Your boy is the perfect example. Russell Wilson is definitely.
No, Russell scrambles.
He scrambles, but he's still.
There's a difference between. No, it's not the same.
Well, he's not running the read option, yes. But they have that in their game at times.
They do have it.
He ran the other day, and he rarely runs. He'll scramble to pass.
He runs. He's just smart, which is what you need to be.
You got some guys that Lamar just takes off. He'll just run.
And it's design runs too, yeah. Lamar and Cam are really like, okay. It's like having an extra running back there.
Yes, yes.
But my problem with those
runs. Joe Burrow freaking runs now.
Who?
Joe Burrow, the number one pick.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a problem with mobility.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with mobility, but I have a problem with the guys that run
so. What I'm saying is the way the game is being played, quarterbacks run more. That's what I'm saying. So give it a little more space and credit. Like, okay, I want my quarterback there. I do that. I agree with you on that.
My problem is I don't want the guy that runs so much in his early career because he can, that now when he's 28, 29, he's never mastered the pocket. And now you're wondering, where did his game go? He can't run anymore. And that's how I look at Cam Newton.
Now, I do agree with that.
Your quarterback is the comp.
Yeah, because if Cam is not running.
Oh, and where's he from? Richmond, Virginia, the crib.
I'm like, what is he? Now, this weekend.
Get in here, William. I'm trying to talk.
This weekend, my last shot and point is this weekend is an 8:00 game. And you see a smile on my face. I cannot wait because I am waiting for Jamal Adams to see Cam Newton.
Look, your boys are good, man. I'm going to give you credit. Right? That's what I'm
all that running around. Oh, you better do better. You would have come to beat us. You got to do better than 15 or 19 for 155.
I agree. Now
you need to put that ball in the end zone.
I think if this matchup was later in the year, I'd be more confident. But you guys should be favored by touchdown. Like, you guys should win this game. Period. There's no way in hell the Seahawks should lose the game. We'll talk about it Thursday, though.
It's still Belichick. They still got a decent defense. I don't think nothing for granted. We still got to play. But Cam Newton, he ain't beating us. If we go up by 14, he got to throw that ball.
Yeah, it ain't like it's Army, dude. Okay, it ain't like Navy or one of these wishbone teams.
I don't know. We didn't see much on Sunday.
Well, because that was by design, Derwin.
Well, and I think Belichick is smart. He knows what he has. Yeah. Josh McDaniels knows what he has. They're going to want to play some defense, and maybe they don't care.
It's called a scheme. It's called a game plan, Derwin.
Something A. Willie said earlier. He doesn't want Cam running. what is Cam going to do? If I'm Belichick and those guys, they only got him for 1 year. They can run him into the ground.
That's true.
They don't have to. They ain't got to worry about him running. Whatever it takes to win football games. Because at the end of the year, they don't have to re-sign him. They can let him walk, and they're going to get a third-round draft pick for him.
Hey, well, to get in here, I do want to see what the Patriots can do through the air because we know what the Seahawks can do. People wanted to see Russell throw the ball more the last few years. That's certainly becoming the norm up in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest. Hey, Will, your thoughts on the black QBs?
No, it's good to see. And, as a kid, I played the position after going from running back to wide receiver to quarterback. So I played it a little bit. And it's really good to see, especially given the historical context of all the things that we have experienced trying to play this position. And back to everybody's point when we were talking about how black quarterbacks are typically utilized in offensive schemes. Oftentimes, the organizations that these quarterbacks play for underinvest in other areas of their team because they have this superhuman playing quarterback. Case in point, when I was a kid, when I watched Randall Cunningham, the Eagles had one of the all-time great defenses and did nothing offensively except give the ball to 12 and let him do his thing, right? And
a couple of weapons. Keith Jackson. Didn't have Mike.
Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Keith Jackson.
A couple guys.
Keith Jackson.
Was Chris Carter? Was Chris Carter? No, that's
Chris Carter. Yeah, he was. He started in Philly. Yeah.
Started there, it did, but the Chris Carter that we all know and love was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right? So oftentimes we'll see this with these quarterbacks where it's okay, and we definitely see it on the college level. I mean, I remember watching Louisville and I was watching Lamar playing. I'm like, is anybody else out there on offense? Right? And because these guys have these abilities, and yeah, you're right, you do the right thing to leverage them, but they over leverage them. Like case in point, even with Cam. I look at some of how long was Jonathan Stewart the tailback or one of the tailbacks in Carolina? I mean, he was there forever, and it's like, man,
forever, yeah.
This dude, like,
and D'Angelo Williams.
But Cam had weapons.
Shout out to the homie, and I'll tell y'all why later. I'll tell y'all. Give me a couple weeks, and I'll tell y'all why.
Cam has some weapons in Carolina.
Everybody must be nice being a former NFL player's wife. She knows everybody.
First of all, it's not even just because I'm a wife. I know a lot of people just because I'm connected.
Oh,
don't all shouts out, not just to him.
We need to talk. We were supposed to talk. I was going to call you this week.
We were supposed.
I didn't want to bother you. We'll talk though. I didn't want to bother you.
I saw you on TV, like you were being Hollywood on me. Like, I was like, wow, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Wow. I know I'm not like a makeup artist or anything, but you can call.
That was good. I got nothing. Go ahead, Willie. That was really
good.
I got nothing.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Oh wait, I have something.
Okay.
So the great feeling of watching these black quarterbacks just brings me joy. There was one time I was running in Berlin, Germany. I won a race and I set a meet record. Your girl was dumb hype. Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to get a bonus. I know who record this was I broke. This is amazing. So they take you upstairs and you go to this press conference. So there are people around and most of them speak only German. So there's a translator that's next to me. So there's this older man and he says in German, and then I watch my translator pause. And I'm like, what kind of question was this?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And he's like, he just asked you, do you find it hard to hurdle while being black? And I was like,
what?
Clutches pearls. I'm confused because, they say like sprinters just sprint. Hurdlers, we have to think in motion. We have to, react in motion. Like it is a thinking person's event. So I've always held that with me of like, and then, of course I asked him like, do you find it dumb or do you find it, easy to write while being dumb? Like that's the dumbest, what I've ever heard. Like what? Yeah. So whenever I watch my brothers, my kings, like excel at something on the field, especially in a position that they were boxed out of for so long, it brings me joy because I know even to this day, how they're viewed. And I do agree with Derwin that I want my brothers, my kings to get away from just being the runner, just being the guy that, gets beat up on. And I want them to have long, beautiful careers. So I agree with Derwin.
That's true.
Somewhat.
Yep.
But it was super exciting to see, as a Black woman, and then also being able to show my friends' sons, like, look, like, you can do this no matter what they tell
Yeah.
you that you can't do.
No, I absolutely
Shout
agree.
out Fritz
Especially,
Pollard.
yes, yeah. Belichick wore his hat, wore a hat with Fritz Pollard on it. Fritz Pollard on it. Of course, the first
And
NFL Black coach, Fritz Pollard Alliance. Go ahead, D.
two quick things. Today, this morning, not this morning, this evening, when I was writing that list down on paper, and I said, man, I said out loud, man, 10 Black quarterbacks, this is good. And my son said, oh, Black, like they look like us. And I said, yes, they look like us.
Oh.
So that was touching.
And there's nothing like seeing somebody that looks like you, man. So you can,
and because I play Madden, he knows Patrick Mahomes when he sees him. And so he said, oh, Patrick Mahomes, or he knows Tyreek Hill, number 10.
Good.
So he's recognizing certain players.
That's good.
That's so heartwarming.
It is. That's a very touching thing. And yeah, that's good stuff. I will add this one thing. Durbin's absolutely right. Look, I want my quarterback available, but in today's game is what I was trying to say. You want a mobile quarterback to attack the defense because you need that extra threat, and the way that just the way the game is being played today, and the way defenses defend and things of that nature. So, Steve Cohen, we'll talk Major League Baseball real quickly. We got a couple of topics left. Steve Cohen buying the Mets. Mets, I think, is getting it for $2.6 billion. I think SNY were part of that. There was some talk. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. I think we're part of that. I know SNY is valued at about $1 billion, which is a lot of damn money for a sports network. 14 freaking billion dollars, almost $15 billion this dude got. Like, holy cow. Like, I don't know what the hell the Mets fans are like, just give me the 2021. Sign the papers. Still needs approval by, I believe, 23 of the 30 MLB owners. That's going to happen probably in October. So we'll see about that, or November at the latest. So right now things look good, but it's on the right track, guys. Real quickly, everybody jump in about how this could help the Mets. I like it because now we can try to compete with the Yankees, and the Mets have not spent like a number one market team. We've always been about 10 to 12, which, like, look, you're in New York, you're valued at this amount of money. I think it's the largest that a franchise has been sold to, $2.6 billion. I think it passed what the Clippers were sold for and things of that nature. So
$2 billion, yeah.
He could have got 3. That's the thing. They could have got damn near 3. It actually got about $500 million less than what they probably could have got, because I think he offered like 2.8 a 3 back in December, and they were being a little silly about it. Don't throw my employers completely under the bus, but yeah, they had some issues with that. Jeff Wilpon wanted to stay on for 5 years, blah blah blah, stuff like that. It's like, get out of here. So yep.
So much money.
I mean, it's cool with me. I'm a Yankee fan, been a Yankee fan forever, but if it helps the Mets, it helps New York City, helps them try to get over the hump, because I think no matter who owns the Mets, they're always going to be in the shadow of the Yankees. It just is what it is.
Unless you win. You got to win. You got to win a World Series. Now,
I was around. I remember in the early 80s when the Yankees were trash.
Yeah, it was a Mets town.
And it was a Mets town, but the Yankees still was, people still.
There's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's like the Rangers and Islanders. It's always going to be the blue shirts.
Jets and Giants, exactly.
Like right now, the Islanders have a chance to go to the Stanley Cup.
Right.
And it's still always going to be a Rangers town.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm rooting for the Islanders, for New York.
Knicks and Nets, too.
Yeah, it's just always going to be that way.
Just like LA's a Laker town.
Right. And I'm happy that A-Rod didn't get him. So I'm great. I'm happy with that.
Well, we probably would have had, entertainers and, music and stuff at the stadium. So it would have been nice to see. I remember J-Lo shot a movie at SNY. A lot of movie and TV shows shoot at SNY because the studios are nice and it's right at World Trade. Yeah, I forget the name of the movie. She took this job. She got an interview for a job she wasn't qualified for, but
I remember the clips from that.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but I remember walking in and she literally walked by me. I'm like, what the hell? And I was there, so yeah, it was pretty cool. You guys get in here, Mets, real quick. Metropolitans, I like it's good.
Yeah, that's good. It's cool. Like, I think anything for the city. I lived in Jersey, but I lived across the water.
I'm across
in Edgewater.
The pond too. Yeah,
I was in Edgewater, so I've always been a city fan, and so anything that helps. Look, give me a job. This is what we need. I need to hold a makeup brush for you to come. That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought we were better than that. I thought we were
No, we are. If you need your makeup and you're in the Atlanta area, KC Beauty, if you're out there,
hit her up, Casey. You'll have your face beat. But
to the
but
gods.
but no, I think it's cool. That's a lot of money. I just
Yeah,
think about like when you say billion,
yeah.
that is so much money.
Mm.
It's cool. It's dope. I think it's great. I think that it'll be awesome. Hire me.
Yeah, I know. Hire me, hire us. Hey, Willie, real quickly, your thoughts about 15 seconds, 20 seconds?
Yeah,
Metropolitans?
it's good. That's good. I think it's good for the Mets, and I remember those days in the National League East when the Mets were really good. You had the Mets and Cardinals going at it. I remember those days, and I remember how much weight the Mets held. Had an LA cat on the team too, Daryl Strawberry, right? So,
That's
um,
strong.
yeah,
Man.
yep. So no, it's good. I think one of the things that we look at and we see, and I think this is one of the things when you look at 2K as a game and as Madden as a game. I know we talked last week about how these games improve. Well, part of the reason why people get the games get so stagnant because there isn't any real competition. Competition helps everybody get better. So
Yes.
I think having the Mets kind of put some pressure on the Yankees. I think it'll be good. And we saw what the Clippers getting some buzz, what it did for the Lakers. We saw that. So I think
He's
this will
like
be good.
literally 3 or 4 times richer than anybody else in Major League Baseball. That's why I'm like, you think about the evil empire of the Yankees and all that money they got, yes, and all that stuff, but it's like the Mets actually have SNY. It's actually a real network. People actually watch it. And when I first got here, late 15, I was flying back and forth. I was still technically in Orlando working, but I flew up here for like 3 or 4 months straight. They went to the World Series, 16, they went to the playoffs. For those 2 years, they outdrew the Yankees, and that never happened. In the last, 3 years, it's been, back to a Yankee town. But that gave us a glimpse of like, damn, there's a lot of Mets fans out there. But it's New York City. There's like 20 million people in the metro area. So there's plenty to go around with the Metropolitans. Real quickly, Madden Tuesdays. Y'all guys see this? That they're doing this big thing throughout the year. They're gonna have like this King of the Hill. It comes on at like 8:30. Then they got Derwin James and his experience. He's going up against Derwin against the world in some games. They got the spokes player. I know you guys have seen the commercials, right, on ESPN and NBC and all these places. Like Madden's doing a big deal, pushing the content and trying to grow Madden 21. I like some of the ideas, with the way that the MCS is set up. That's a little different story. Madden Championship Series, but they're trying, to put some good content out there and engage all of the football fans and millennials in this sort of demographic that we're dealing with here. The 13, I like to call 13 to 39. You guys' thoughts? Jump in here and whatever you guys got. That's all I got.
I mean, I like Madden. I've been playing it apparently too much, but it's a hot time. Football is back. People love their football. They added this thing called the yard and all this other stuff they added to try to, spice it up. EA is going to try to, come up with some new content to keep people engaged. So I get it. So now they got Derwin James who's hurt. So he's got nothing but time.
He's got time.
He's got time. So you want to put him out there and tie him in with EA. I get it. So EA right now knows it's the king of American sports, football. And they just trying to piggyback and try to make something off of it.
It's a very good time too. Tuesdays usually, and Kelly knows this very well. Usually the players' day off. No games on a Tuesday, and once but they should have the sort of the calendar open now, but because of COVID, but I think it's a good spot for where they're at with the King of the Hill and Derwin James versus the world. Looking at it from that perspective as well. Kelly, Ado's your thoughts on this? Madden with the live broadcast on Twitch and YouTube, and really pouring some money into this and coming up with some dope content and some good broadcasts.
I think it's phenomenal. I think it is a great idea. I think it's an interactive thing, and people love interactive things. Being able to play other fans, being the fans feeling like they can be there. Whenever fans feel like they can have that tangible piece of a player, it just brightens their entire days. Like I watched this video of a kid that got a nod from LeBron, made his whole life, so being able to feel like you are there with the player, interacting with them, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a great idea, and EA runs all the sports, so I think it's smart on their thing because they also have to keep reinventing themselves every time that there is a new Madden. What are they going to do to make it better? What are they going to do? Yes, people are going to buy it. I can look in my husband and my son's closet and I can see 15, 16, 17, 18. And I'm like, It's all the same. What are you talking about? But let me mind my own business. So, you know, they have to keep reinventing themselves to keep the players and the fans engaged. So I think this is just another notch on their belt on how smart they are behind the scenes.
Good stuff. A-Dubs, your thoughts?
Great minds. I was thinking exactly what Kelly just said.
This is why we get along.
No need for me to I don't need to.
You know what it is?
She said it more eloquently than me.
It's 8:19, and we're like, all right, we're a little over. Let's get out of here. Compete.
No, seriously.
This is happening.
And there's a heck of a game going on right now.
Yeah, I know.
What's the score?
It was 55-55 at the half. It was tied. Now it's 71-69 with 2:20 to go in the third.
Okay, I'll get to watch the fourth quarter. All right, good stuff.
Okay.
Compete Forever on Black News Channel this weekend. Episode 16, Coach K. Episode 16. Still pumping out the shows every weekend, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern, both on Saturday and Sunday. Black News Channel nationally, Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity, and also Charter Spectrum cable companies. We'll see about the other companies, DirecTV, which I have, AT&T, and some other cable companies. We'll see about those carriage agreements that they're working on this month. Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m., 6 p.m. Eastern, myself and two-time Super Bowl champ Tyrone Poole calling the Langston University the Line Camp. It's right when they started school back early August. Had the best players on campus. And we'll see who won the shmoney. I think $500 was on the line that we gave out that day, and it was a really good experience working with the HBCUs. Of course, we always love the HBCUs here, the historically black colleges and universities, which Kelly Wells Brinkley is one of them. Can you say Pirates?
You already know the real HU. Like there is no other. There is no other. There is no other. Hey, but I rep Virginia State too. I mean, I'm from Richmond. Petersburg is, a hop, skip, and a jump. And my mom went to Virginia State.
Hey, we
got a Virginia State event coming up in like.
There you go.
Yeah, Madden event. Homecoming weekend. We're doing big event for them. October the 24th. That's Saturday. So.
I'll let you go.
Oh, yeah.
It's Madden. That's all.
Let me know I can watch. Let me know.
We'll put you on the broadcast. We'll just let you talk. All right, like yeah.
I can do that at least.
Let's work on it. We'll definitely get you in there.
Call me.
I will. Anything else, guys, before we get out here?
Just happy for football to be back, man.
No.
Throw them up.
Throw them up. Shout out to Snook and Diddy. Snooker Booker. My baby out there. Also, Serena, Renee, also Kimberly Cruz, and also, how about this young lady, Lucy Cruz out there in Mableton. That's all we got. esportsXTRA.
No.
OG.
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 Oh, the fam. OG.
Yeah, OG.
Thinking about you, OG.
Sorry.
Thinking about you, OG.
To my heart.
OG.
OG to my heart.
He'll be back
POP,
tomorrow.
hold it down.
Yeah.
POP, I like it. Well, she's from Houston, right? POP,
baby.
Hold it down.
What was the other part? Baby. What was the video about? It wasn't the POP. It was
she was legally blind, so she couldn't have.
Yeah.
But what was the other sort of funny thing that was going on in that video? I remember the POP. What was the whole video
POP
about?
hold it down. Then she said Pimp Squad, baby.
Pimp Squad, baby.
But what was the other thing? It was what made the video go viral. What was it about?
She was blind.
She was legally blind, so she could they had her in handcuffs. Sure. Because she was going to commit some kind of crime.
I think that was
but
it.
She had to have been blind.
I know, but what else? It was another thing that she said that actually made it go viral. I remember.
Well, I just remember she was like, "I'm legally blind."
Are you thinking? You might be thinking about.
I shouldn't be, and I'm not laughing at people that are blind, and I'm not laughing at anyone that's blind.
Right, that's Antoine.
Just so that's out there.
Yeah. We'll look it up. We'll get back to it.
I love you.
Man, it wasn't that. I have to look at the video again. There was one part that really stood out to me, but yeah, the POP. That was so funny, man. Let's get out of here, guys. esportsXTRA, thanks for watching.
I love y'all.
Coach, I love you too, baby. Coach Mamuzette, in a friendly way. I ain't trying to get Jasper after me. Friendly way.
First of all,
I don't want the esports HR department coming down on us.
That's true. No fraternizing.
Hit you like Terry Tate, man.
Oh, like
You
Ken
don't want
Solari.
that.
He
You don't
said he
want
loved
that.
his coworker. For Coach K back there, Kevin Mabuzet, we got A. Willie down there in the DFW. Big Texas represent baby. And H-Town. Kelly Wells Brinkley, Screwed. How would Kelly Wells do Screwed esports extra? How would they go? Chopped and Screwed.
Oh God.
Sports.
I don't know. I'm more of a trap music.
Oh, that is trap music.
I'd be
Chop and
but I'd
Screw.
be
You got
selling
Chop
drugs
and
in
Screw
my
it, man.
I'd be selling drugs in my mind when I listen to trap.
You know what? We are all some big trappers, man. I be trapping and finessing and trapping. I'm right there with you, baby. We gotta go to Atlanta so I can take you to the Trap Music Museum. We'll be in there like, woo.
Y'all see a different side of Kelly. Y'all see it.
Hey, I'm that guy too. I'm right there with you. We both a little ratchet,
No, I'm very ratchet. I'm like 100%.
We're ratchet. We're not ratchet. We're adults. We're professionals. We're making money now.
100%. I pay taxes,
right?
Mortgages. You know,
absolutely. Yeah, we got kids.
Definitely ratchet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot.
Now,
you got a lot.
No. Derwin's ratchet.
No.
He's got ratchet takes. That's what it is.
No,
Nobody believes that.
He's a respectable, like he's no.
He's a nice young man. That's exactly.
He's like he presses his shirts and stuff.
What is he freaking Charlton?
He puts creases in his pants. He's respectable.
Yes, he is. Derwin could sell me insurance. I would buy it from him.
All day.
You're right. I do need it. I need more insurance. You're right.
He could sell me a used car.
Well, that's a snake oil salesman. That ain't good.
No, that's how trusting he is. Like he could be like, it's good. You don't even need a warranty.
If you're selling used cars, you dirty. You know it's a damn living. At
the Rover dealership. How about certified?
That's high class, right? For Kelly Wells down there in H-Town. Derwin, my good buddy, back in Brooklyn. Where you at? I'm Larry Ridley. We'll see you guys tomorrow. esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night. See you later.
Watch the